Good day there, all my little sweetie pies. So today we are gonna delve into the life of Larin before he was bi. Yes, today I am gonna do a little story time for you little sweeties, and I'm gonna put on my crown and I'm gonna act like the queen I am. Today I wanted to talk about the very exact moment I knew for sure that I was a bisexual man, okay? Because there was a time in my life, in my very own personal life, that I thought that I was as straight as can be, and believe it or not, that was about 5 years ago. Let me tell you something. 2-3 years ago, I knew I was bi. I knew it. I was, but I didn't tell anyone yet. I didn't tell my friends, I didn't tell my family, I didn't tell anyone because I didn't know for sure. So today, I'm gonna tell you the story that changed it all, okay? I'm gonna tell you about my first gay experience. So just a little background on this story. About 3 years ago, my mom broke her leg. And if you guys don't know, my mom is in a wheelchair. She is paralyzed from the waist down, so this was a big deal. We were watching her leg for a while, and it wasn't healing, and it was doing something to her blood, and it was turning her blood pretty toxic. And this means that, you know, her blood was turning septic, and it was giving her this huge infection, and it was just not good, so it landed her in the hospital. It really sucked in that moment, and she was there in Salt Lake for about a week, and I had to go there with my auntie and my other siblings to, you know, go there for support because we didn't want her by herself there. But fast forward to about the 5th or the 6th day, she started getting so much better. She was responding to medication well. Her leg was, you know, had pretty much every chance in the world to heal itself, and today, thank God, her leg is fully healed as a paraplegic's leg can be, and she is not sick anymore. So that is such good news for everybody, and I'm really happy that she's doing so much better. And I want to preface this by saying that what happened wasn't something that I necessarily thought was gonna happen. Like, I didn't think this was gonna happen at all. It was just something that did happen. So it wasn't like I was going out looking for fun. So just so you guys know. And another preface, more like a caution, if you are a family member and you're watching this video, sorry. Oh my God. Anyway, so I guess where do I start? So it was about the 5th day. We got to the hospital pretty early. Like, it was about 8 or 9. And if you guys don't know me at all, I am not a morning person. Like, I will complain and bitch if I wake up before 12. So as I said before, my mom on this day, near the end of our trip, was doing so much better. The doctors were talking about releasing her. So, and she was up and talkative, and it was like so relieving. But that morning I was just so tired, so exhausted from the whole rest of the week, worrying about my mom. I was drained emotionally and physically, and I was just like, today I need some coffee, because I don't ever drink coffee. So this hospital had a Starbucks in the main lobby, and it was really awesome for them to have. And so I was like, well, thank God I don't have to go that far for a coffee. So I went downstairs, and I was just gonna order something like simple, something that would get me a jolt of energy, you know? And I don't order coffee a lot. I'm not even sure what I ordered that day, but it worked, honey. Anyway, I went to the line, and there was like no one there. I assume everyone was working, or they just didn't want coffee. So I was standing in line, and I'm pretty sure I was the only one in there, aside from a couple other people who were on their laptops or something. There was this person in front of me, and then there was a person behind me, okay? And it was my turn next to order, and I just ordered something. I had like 3 espresso shots in there. It was very chocolatey, and it was fucking everything. And anyway, I ordered it, paid for it, and I went to the next line where I pick up my drink, right? And the guy behind me was this little short, bald dude. He was like pretty muscular, and he honestly had a cute face. But at this moment in the story, I wasn't like looking at him. Like, I wasn't like I wasn't even looking, you know, I was just minding my own business. I was tired, I wanted my coffee. So, you know, I was just standing in line, minding my own business, you know, just doing regular Starbucks coffee line stuff. Anyway, so I went, I was just, you know, and then this guy, he came up behind me and he was just standing there waiting for his coffee, doing the same damn thing I was. So I remember I grabbed my coffee from this person, and then I said thank you, whatever, have a good day. And I turned around, but I accidentally bumped this bald dude, you know, and I bumped into him and I was like, oh shit, I'm sorry, bro. And he's like, nah, that's okay. I was like, okay. So I went and I fucking, I got this table. There was a table like facing the corner. It was like the loneliest table you could ever see in a coffee shop. There was literally one chair, one plug-in outlet, and it was just, it was like this cutest little square table and the whole damn thing. It was just lonely. It was just, it was weird. But I didn't care. No one was gonna sit with me. I wasn't drinking a coffee with anyone, so whatever. So I was sitting there, I got my phone, and then just out of my peripheral vision, I think I was playing fucking Candy Crush on my phone. I have no idea. But this dude, he comes up to me and he's like, hey, he's like, are you drinking your coffee with anybody? Do you mind if I sit with you? And I was like, oh. I was like, okay. And it wasn't just the dude. It was the dude, the bald dude that I bumped into. I was like, okay. I was like, you know, yeah, sure, I'm not doing anything, whatever. It was really random, and I never talked to people I don't know. And he sat down, and the first thing I noticed about him was his eyes. His eyes were like fucking the most beautiful color I've ever seen in my fucking life, guys. And I think they're like a hazel, if I remember right, but that wasn't that's not even important, because right now what happened next, he like fucking smiled at me when he said thank you, and I was like, oh my god, this dude is fucking adorable, and I liked his smile. And I think it's really crazy because y'all know I'm bisexual as fuck, but I love people's smiles. Like, if I can make someone smile, and if I'm like attracted to this person, that's like the first thing I'm gonna be like attracted to, you know? I love a good smile. I love it when people have great dental hygiene. It's just a really nerdy thing for me to like. Anyway, me and this guy, we start talking, and he told me his name, and for obviously his privacy, I'm not gonna say his name, so I'm just gonna say his name was like Jacob or something. He was a really cool guy. He was studying to be a nurse, so he was there in his like nursing scrubs and everything. And I said, well, that's awesome. I started telling him why I was there, what the issues with my mom was, and he was being very cool about it, very awesome. And I don't know, it was just really intense, really a cool conversation, and we were drinking our coffee, and then I lost track of time, and and it was like 10:30. I was there talking with this dude for like an hour and a half. I don't know what the fuck happened, and I was like, oh my god, I have to go back up to my room. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm visiting my mom. I was like, I'm sure you have things to do too. And he's like, yeah, I understand. And I don't know, that was it. That was just, you know, the chance meeting. I was just talking to him. I kind of enjoyed it. It was really cool. I never experienced that, even like right now, to this day. I have never experienced that. But what happened later on in the day was really kind of crazy for me, even now, even being me. I remember I was in the elevator, and then the elevator stopped a floor before my floor, and the dude that I was talking with, Coffee, that same morning, he jumped on. He's like, oh, hey, it's you. I was like, yeah, it is me. It's you. Hello. How are you? It was really awkward because I didn't talk to him. I was really tired, and the coffee wore off, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, hey, I really enjoyed our conversation earlier. You should totally let me have your number. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, what? I'm like, you know, I'm the type of person, when someone flirts with me or when someone wants to do shit with me, it just goes over my head. It's just something I do. I don't catch up on it. I'm very oblivious to shit like that, guys. Anyway, so I'm like, for what? I tell this guy, I look at him, he's a fucking handsome ass guy, but I'm like, why do you want my number? That's such a weird thing to want. I don't know, I don't understand. So, but I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. And I didn't think anything of it. I was like, whatever. I was kind of like freaked out by it because no one has actually ever asked for my number ever before. Well, I mean, at least not a guy. Later that night when I was in the hotel room, my auntie stayed at the hospital with my mom, but I was tired, so I wanted to go home. I mean, not home, but you know, go sleep in a bed and just chill out. And I think it was later that night, around like 9 o'clock-ish, he's like, hey, we should hang out. And I'm like, well, I'm in a hotel. I'm at my hotel right now. I'm at Holiday Inn. And I told him where I was, and I was like, but you can't come over here. And I was like, and I'm scared to meet you because I don't know you. I've never met someone in the city before. He's like, no, it's just chill. He's like, but he's like, we can meet at this little square place. It was like a park, but it had like lights everywhere, and there was people there. So I was like, you know, I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm 21 years old, I can handle this shit. So, so I go out to the park with this guy, and he's really nice to me. We're walking around and we're just sitting there. And then we go to this food stand, which is really weird. He's like, are you hungry? And I'm like, yeah, yo, I'm gonna get a salad and a water. I don't know. They were the cheapest thing on the menu, and I didn't want this stranger, this weirdo, Jacob, paying for all my food because my fat ass was gonna order a lot if he had said so. And the coolest thing about that moment, he looked at me, he was like, you are not eating a salad and a water. And he got me a double bacon cheeseburger, the same thing he ordered. I was like, oh my God. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, you caught me. And we ate, we had fun, and I was just like, well, I gotta go back. I gotta go back to my hotel. And he's like, okay. He's like, well, just low-key, if you want to come see me later, here's where I live. And he gave me his apartment number, which was like, literally, if I left that place, I would have drove past his apartment and been to my hotel room like 5 minutes later. So I was like, you know, I was like, what if I drive my car to the hotel and maybe later I'll meet you up at your apartment? And he's like, yeah, maybe, that'd be cool. And I was fucking nervous. Like, at this moment, I was like, okay, this guy is like being so, like, super smooth, super crazy, and like obviously flirting, and I was obviously flirting with him. So I was like, oh my God, this shit's weird as fuck. And I don't know, because you know, everything's happening all at once, and it's my first time even like being like openly attracted to a guy. So I'm sorry guys, there's like a fucking fly in my camera and I'm not living for it. So so fast forward about an hour or so, it was midnight, and he's like, you know, I don't have to work tomorrow. If you want to come over, you can. And I was like, you know, I was like, yeah. I was like, I was bored in my hotel room. I was just watching YouTube videos. I was like, I'll walk over. And he's like, I'll meet you halfway. So we met halfway, probably, I want to say it was about a 5-minute walk. So it was about a 10-minute walk from my hotel to his apartment. And I was nervous as hell, and you know, I was like, okay. I was like, this is, I told him, I think, I should advise you guys. My choice of going out with a stranger to his apartment in a city alone without telling anybody was not my smartest choice. It was actually pretty fucking dumb, but I'm really happy that nothing happened and he wasn't a fucking freak. So don't do that. Don't go out with a stranger to their house alone at night in a city where no one knows where you're gonna be, because that is fucking terrifying. That's how people die. Okay, guys. So I go to his apartment, and it was really awkward because I didn't want to, like, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't want to like do anything. I told him this like straight off. I said, hey, I didn't come here to like do anything with you. Like, I literally just want to hang out. He's like, okay. He's like, that's dope. He's like, let's watch a movie. Let's watch a movie. I was like, okay. I was like, cool. And I'm shaking. I'm like, at this point, I'm in his apartment. I'm on his couch and I'm like shaking. I don't know. I'm fucking nervous. And we started watching a movie. And the thing about this is he's like, I hope you don't mind if I like go get more comfortable, like get more comfortable clothes on. And I'm like, it's midnight and you're in sweatpants. How the hell could you get more comfortable? But I'm like, okay, go do your thing. And it was really crazy. We were watching some weird movie. I don't even remember what it was. I was just watching it to be nice because at this point I was too nervous to even care about what I was watching. And the dude is in his room for like 5 minutes and I'm like, okay, I don't know if this is like a cue for me to leave or not. Like, am I boring him? What the fuck? And the guy, keep in mind, he's like a midget. I'm 6'3". He's like 5'10" compared to me. But he's like very muscular, he's very like everything. And I'm like, I'm freaking out. And then 5 minutes later, he comes out in a fucking Pikachu onesie. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what the fuck is this? And he comes over and he's like, do you mind if like we cuddle? And I was like, okay, all right. So he gets on the couch and we cuddle for a little bit. And then it was really like such a strange thing for me. I don't know. I was shook. Like at this moment, I'm shook and I don't know what the fuck to do. And I have my phone charged. I mean, it was charging and like on his little coffee table because his lamp had like plugins, which I thought was only a thing in hotels, but I guess not. So I don't know. It was really weird. And then eventually he looked up at me. He's like, "Do you mind if we kiss a little bit?" And I'm like, I'm like, oh no, oh my, I'm not ready for this. I'm a 20-year-old confused motherfucker. I don't know about it. And he's like, no, just a little bit. We can go slow if you want, it's fine. And he wasn't being pushy about it, which is kind of something I liked in him. And I still like that today. I don't like it when people are pushy. It's like really kind of, you know, like a turn off. And I was like, okay. So we started, you know, doing the thing, doing the kissing thing, and it was really strange but really interesting at the same time because I mean this is the first kiss I've had with a guy, and I don't know, and then things got really weird after that. Like there was touching but long story short, we did the deed, we did everything, and I was like, okay, I was like, well, it's like 3 in the morning at this point. I was like, I have to go, and we're in his room, and we're laying there, and I was like, this was really fun. I was like, I want to thank you. And he's like, yeah, you're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. And it was really weird. I don't know. I went to my hotel room, back to where my hotel was, and I walked back. He offered to walk me back, and I was like, no. I was like, I can handle this. I wanted to walk back and think about what just happened. It was really crazy. I was shook. I didn't know what the fuck to do. Like, I was shaking. I didn't know what to do. So my first instinct was to tell my friend Caitlin. And so I Snapchatted her and I was like, girl, you will not fucking believe what just happened. And I literally told her everything that I told you guys, plus some other details that I'm not gonna talk about here. But she's like, Larin, she's like, are you coming out to me right now? I was like, I think I'm like bisexual, yo. I think I like guys. Like, I'm pretty sure I like guys now. I mean, like, I've always known I like guys, but I never really solidified that until that moment. And she just started bawling. She was like, yo, let me call you for a minute. And so I called her and I went to the bathroom because my auntie was sleeping. And I was like, and she's like, you know, I always knew, but she's like, I always knew you were. She's like, but I wanted you to figure it out, and I'm just so proud of you. And I was like, yay! And then, of course, she was the first person I told. But my best friend in the whole wide world, who's Cheyenne, I called her next. I told her, and I was scared to tell her. Like, I will be honest, I was so fucking scared to tell her. But me and Cheyenne have this like friendship and relationship where we all, even to this day, we tell each other everything, and it's just insane. And when I told her, Cheyenne, I remember it like I don't know, I was really shook up still. So I remember telling her everything that happened and she's like, Larin. She's like, Larin, are you serious? So I was like, yeah. I was like, this just happened. And it was like early in the morning, and I told her about the Pikachu onesie, the movie, the weird late night park and eating thing. I was like, I told her everything, and she's like, oh my God, like she was freaking the fuck out. And I don't know. So Jacob, obviously you're not Jacob, but if you know who you are, I think you still follow me on Instagram. I have told this person that he was my first experience, and he's really like flattered by it. Me and him don't talk anymore, which is kind of weird, but that's fine. I don't know. I just wanted to share that with you guys because it's fucking weird. I don't know. It's a fucking weird little thing, and it's just insane for me to know that like 3 years ago that's what happened. You know what I mean? So I don't know. So now, I mean, up to like this point, I'm obviously open about me being bisexual and everything, and it was just really crazy. And oh my God, I like remembering it now, I'm like, fuck, you know, like that was intense. That was an intense time, even for today's standards. And I've had a lot of intense things happen in my life. So that was my first gay experience, and it's really weird retelling the story and reliving it in my head, and like, because I've never talked about this in such a long time, let alone even remembering it. And when I look back then, how nervous I was, and looking like right now, like how comfortable I am with myself, how much like my family and my friends know about me now, and a lot of things have changed since I came out 2 years ago, and I'm really fucking like proud of myself, because now, you know, all of that happened. Right now I have a boyfriend, and I have all kinds of shit going on in my life, and you know, I don't know, it's so weird looking back at all of that, but it's kind of funny looking back at how fucking nervous I was. I don't know, it's just insane. But that is it for today's video. That's my story time of the first, you know, I have said that like many times in this video already. So that's about it for today's video, guys. I also want to thank you guys for, you know, subscribing. I know I always say this at the end of every video, but I really do appreciate it. A lot of you have stuck around, even though I haven't been posting videos for the past year, and it's just, oh, it's just such an awesome feeling. I don't know, it's really cool. So thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, if you haven't subscribed yet, you can subscribe right here. And if you want to know when I post more content, press that little bell button. That notification button will tell you when I upload a new video. If you guys want me to upload more videos, more storytime videos like this one about my life, all you have to do is tell me in the comments. So with all that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day, great evening, and a great afternoon, because you fucking deserve it. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.